And we are live. Welcome to Unicorn Chef. You guys will remember me as the glorious and fantastic Mike Ellis, stepping in once again for Bryson. Bryson has been traveling, looking for the most perfect wedding ring for me, but he'll be back next week. We have with us James Bierly. James is going to be making with us fettuccine Alfredo. I'm looking forward to it. If you guys could do me a favor, go visit your local SPCA, donate some time, donate some money. We need them. They need us. And by all means, if you're cooking along with us tonight, make sure you use the hashtag, Unicorn Chef. James?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm James Bierly, and we're going to be cooking the chicken fettuccine Alfredo. And just a quick plug for my charity. I am doing a charity for the Four Oaks Family Connections. They are a foster care program or foster care organization here in the state of Iowa, helping families get licensed to be foster care parents, and then also helping the children as well. An interesting thing here in Iowa, there's about 4,000 children in Iowa that are in need of foster care on a nightly basis, and there is definitely a deficit of available homes and beds for them to have a safe place to stay. So a lot of children are in shelters until suitable areas can be found. So if you have any information or any questions rather about foster care, please send something in the chat or reach out to me.
Yeah, links for all of this are in the description of the video. And yeah, what an amazing thing to represent, without question. And not to diminish that, but what are you drinking?
Oh, I am drinking a nice hot mug of, what is this? This is Verena Street Coffee brand. They are here in Dubuque, Iowa. This is their Lock and Dam number 11. It is a nice medium roast, and I'll probably switch up and double fist some water while I'm at it. So what are you drinking, Mike?
So it's a special occasion, and you're a special man. So I decided to pull out the vintage Boda Box Revolution red wine.
Yes.
It's 50 awards, including the best buy, which means it's quality.
Best. Awesome. All right. Well,
so I've actually got my first threat. Karen says that James is your homeboy. James is her homeboy. And if I'm not nice, she's going to go strong on disappointed mom. So I don't want to upset Karen.
Yeah.
She owes me a hat, though, so Karen can shush.
Oh, Karen.
So what are we doing, my friend?
Good job. All right. So we are going to do fettuccine Alfredo with chicken.
Good.
So the recipe that I had thrown in there called for chicken breasts. But if you don't have chicken breasts laying around, use thighs. If you want to use some ocean meat, some shrimp, some whatever, hey, go for it. I'm sure if Carolina's out there, she's probably using some very rare Wagyu steak that was like airdropped by an elf or something. But yeah, so I'm gonna trim this chicken here. Depending on your stove, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and get your water started for your pasta. You don't want it to sit around too long, so feel free to crank that up as needed. What we'll also do is we're gonna add 1 stick of butter. That's a 1/4 cup. For those of you that maybe don't have measurement, or I'm sorry, 1/2 cup, 1/4 pound. So if you don't have measurements, or if you've got like a giant block, or if you're digging it out of a tub of margarine, then you should probably just delete your YouTube page. We're gonna throw in our stick of butter, and then
I don't think there's anything less romantic to say than sticking your hand in a tub of margarine. I think that's beautiful.
It really is. It's super romantic. I heard all the ladies love it. So go ahead and put your butter in. We're going to use 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream.
Okay.
I haven't tried this with half and half. I'm sure you could probably get by with half and half or something.
Okay.
It just might not get quite the way you want.
Okay.
So we'll pour this out in here. And actually, I'm going to just put another dab of it into my coffee. There we go. All right. So just throw your half and half in here. And we're just going to let that heat up slowly. You don't want to curdle the cream or anything like that. So heat it up slowly. Let the butter start to melt. Let the cream get heated up. I'm also kind of a fan of cleaning as you go. So especially since I'm kind of on the hook for doing this myself. All right. So I'm using chicken breasts here, or thighs, sorry. So boneless, skinless, still got some fat and everything on them. Since I'm going to throw mine on the pellet grill, I'm going to just quickly take off some of this extra just so it doesn't stick and get kind of chewy. The one great thing about this Alfredo recipe is you really can switch it up however you like. If you want to make it spicy, you could throw some roasted red pepper or some dried red pepper flakes. If you wanted to sneak some vegetables in it, you can go right out of the box, my man. There you go. That's champ status. Love it. Love it. But you could definitely do pureed roasted red pepper. You could roast garlic. Mike, have you ever roasted like a head of garlic in the oven?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah. That's like, I mean, one, it's stupid easy, and it's like delicious air freshener for your house. And then if you like throw that stuff on bread, you don't even need butter for that bread. It's man, these thighs are small ones, so they'll cook fast. So nice thing for those of you maybe aren't familiar much with difference in chicken. Thigh meat's usually cheaper. It's a darker meat, so it's a little fattier. It's also a little more what's the right term? A little more forgiving to the heat, so you're less likely to dry it out. Mike, you said that like you'd probably be in trouble if you tried to cook chicken breast. Was that?
Yeah, it's funny too because breast is great. I'm not really a breast guy. I'm more of like a leg and butt guy.
Oh, yeah.
But breast I think has its place, but I think breast has more of a place inside like a thin slice or like a sandwich, or if you're making like a cordon bleu, if you're going to stuff it. Thigh meat for me is crazy flavor. That's
for sure.
Or stews or anything like that, then thigh meat is the punch in the face that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then obviously with your protein, whatever it is, chicken, fish, whatever, season it the way you like. This is an Italian dish, but you don't have to make your chicken that same way. You could throw some blackening spice on this. You can do whatever. I'm gonna do just some salt and
you fancy salt guy, little bay salt.
This is salt right off the elbow. Yeah, I got T-Rex arms, so I can't quite pull that off the way I'd want. We'll do some black pepper since I'm not gonna go super high temperature with these, so I'll just I don't have to worry about burning the pepper up. And let's see, we'll just use a little bit of this is just Italian seasoning, mix of your basil, oregano, ingredients, spices, super helpful, but it will be Italianish. So little into that. Let's grab these real quick. Flip them over so we can season both sides. And we'll do these kind of towards the end because they won't take long to cook. So if you know your meat and you know how long it's going to take you, throw it on now, throw it on later.
I think I was pretty familiar with my meat by the time I was 16 or so. But
yeah.
I grilled a lot though.
JC Penney catalog. I mean, that was our thing back in the day. We didn't have access to all this crazy internet stuff.
It's like kids are like, "Oh my God, these chicks are so hot." I'm like, "You've never had to imagine an ankle before. Don't tell me that shit."
You end up with the maternity section of the JC Penney catalog, and you're just like, well, any port in a storm, I guess.
I would never yuck someone's yum.
That explains a lot. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching.
Oh, I hope your mom's watching. James is a nice boy. We didn't talk about anything to do with narcotics.
Oh no, not yet. Here, let's we'll see if this works. I'm just curious if I can change the camera. Hey, there you go. Oh, that's actually not all that exciting. That's not all that exciting though. But I could tilt it. So technology. Okay, cool.
Emma, dial-up pictures were badass. You had to be very strategic about what you clicked on because you didn't want to be disappointed.
Oh man, downloading something you thought that was going to be good, and then you totally missed the fact that it had a .exe somewhere in the middle of the, and suddenly you just gave your home computer cancer or something. So yeah, it's.
Why do I have so many dialers on my taskbar? I don't understand.
Oh man, I know that's. I wish those days were completely gone because I mean that stuff still happens. Doing security and helping people and like if you see a bunch of dots at the back end of something, you should be concerned. All right, so you're how you doing over there, Mike? What you working on?
When I make generally a roux for this kind of thing, I like to brown an onion into the roux.
I like it.
Yeah, so when it creams out, I would say that my wife and I's favorite vegetable is onion, without question. Grill them all the time. Grilled Spanish onions.
Good. So that sounds delicious. I might have to steal that. Like I said, I've done a few different things with the Alfredo, and it's it's obviously it's not considered like a true base sauce, but
yeah,
I'm like it's cheese, it's base for me, man. That's where I want to be. All right. So let's see.
But just so you know where I am though, I have my chicken seasoned in the oven.
Excellent.
I have a quarter stick of butter melted down that I'm cooking my onions in.
Okay.
And when my onions are cooked, I think I'm going to be starting to make a roux from that.
Okay. You're going to want to get your cream in there too. Start getting that hot. It's not like a true roux where it's the fat and the flour combined. So this is more of a heat that up. The flour will be there to help bind the cheese, and then the sherry is there to just give it a little punch of excitement.
So
you should be okay with the way you were doing it so far, because I've done that with garlic too. Like if I was like, oh crap, I didn't roast a head of garlic, I'll just drop this in, do that. So should be just fine.
I buy these monstrosities full of garlic.
Yeah. Let's see. I think not to like try to one up you, my man. Here,
You should. I'm just going to call you out on Twitter after.
But I think I'm a wee bit girthier there. Like that's just and you notice that I'm almost out. So
you're a vampire slayer in your spare time?
Pretty much. My blood type might be garlic. So. But we don't measure garlic with spoons. We measure it with our heart, and so all right.
And
so
Andrew Jordan is telling us to try some paprika.
Oh, that's a good call. Hey, shout out to Andrew. He's a student here locally learning the InfoSec. So good job. Glad to see you made it, Andrew. Looking forward to our next conversation. Okay. So. All right. So if your cream seems like it's about hot now, let's go ahead and we'll add the flour.
Cool.
And then just whisk that in.
So are you? And my cream is always hot. How dare you? But are you looking for like a roll up with the cream, or sorry, with the flour and make it smell nutty, or are you just wanting it to be thick?
You're just looking to see, like, just for it to start to steam. Like, we're not looking for bubbles or anything. This is definitely it's not a hard sauce, but it just is one that if you rush it, and I have before, then it gets a little weird and sometimes not all that tasty.
Okay. So
just whisk that flour through. Give it a minute or two to sort of cook in. This dish isn't going to have like really that that risk of it. Ooh, did I freeze up? I think I froze up. Hold on. Let's.
Your picture did freeze up, but you're still gorgeous. So I think it's working out good.
Well, all right. So, yep. Okay. So we'll switch to our backup camera here real quick, and then, boom. Okay. So, and then I'll just do some quick tinkering here. Want to keep the party going, right?
Emma asked, does anybody buy less than a gallon of garlic at a time? No, man. No. Or back in the old days, you'd buy a head of garlic for like 19 cents. You'd be like, oh, garlic is getting so expensive. Now you buy a kilogram of it for like $1.
Yep. Okay. All right. So I think we're back. We're back. There we go. Look at that. So so now that you've got your flour cooked through, so we're kind of getting there. Got some good steam.
Oh, so that's tighten up, eh? Okay.
Okay. So now we'll just add the sherry into it and whisk that up. If you don't have sherry, marsala, white wine, anything like that would work. It's just a couple tablespoons, so it's nothing crazy. Just gives a little punch. Don't throw a red wine. Yeah, there you go. Don't throw your box stuff in there. That might be upsetting.
Don't you diss my box wine, you son
Hey
of a
man, I've been down that road with boxed wine, boxed coffee, boxed whatever. So okay, so now this is kind of the important part, and is you're going to add your cheese. Hopefully you have grated it or started to grate it or whatever. So one thing about Parmesan cheese. The stuff that you get like out of the container to shake into on your pizza, not really what you'd want to use for that. That's like flavored sawdust. So just get yourself a block of cheese and shred it, or buy like a quality one that's already shredded. There you go, man. There you go. So we're just gonna add this kind of by handfuls. If you dump it all in there at once, it kind of gets gloppy. If you
gloppy is like the most awesome word ever.
What was that?
Gloppy is like the greatest word ever.
It is. It's kind of up there with like moist.
Sluicy.
Sluicy. Yep. Funny thing. Our old church, the pastors left, and the wife of the pastor was very, very anti-word moist. And so a whole mess of us had shirts made that had variations of moist. So my kids had moist, little moist, kind of moist. Mine was like a steak that had like rare, medium, and then moist at the bottom. Like, yeah. So
I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, okay.
One of the bigger bands back in the day, their name was Moist. I highly recommend them. Fun band from back in the 90s.
Check it out. What kind of music do they play?
Kind of like early grungy kind of stuff, but
okay.
Push was their biggest song.
Okay.
Quite a good band.
There you go. I like it. And then just continue as it melts. Just continue to add more cheese. Okay. You'll be able to tell, depending on how it's shredded or whatever, you'll know pretty quickly when you can throw more in. And and then just whisk it, let it combine. And then you can add some more. Biggest thing is just keeping the heat down and not scorching the sauce. One thing I'll talk about real quick.
Okay.
For those of you that did that have like blocks of parm, hopefully you're saving your rinds. You can cut a chunk of this off, and if you're making like a red sauce, just drop a chunk of that into the red sauce and let it simmer. It adds just a little bit extra punch of flavor, and it's a good use of it because really it's kind of a little too hard to do much else with. But if somebody knows of something to do with the rind outside of putting it in a sauce, I'm all ears. And I honestly don't even know how much cheese I have in here, so that's all right.
Tabitha Di Domenico wants to highlight the word moisture.
Moisture,
Terrible.
moistest. It's the moistest thing you will find. That's
Moist is really a bad word, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't bother me, but at the same time, it kind of bothers me because I'm like, other people are probably bothered by it. All right, how many handfuls of cheese have you put in yours, Mike?
You know, I haven't put anything yet down. My onions have whitened, which is nice, so they're cooked down.
Yes.
So I'm going to be adding a little bit of cream and a little bit of milk right now
Okay.
to get it up to temperature.
Good.
How much did you add in? 8 cups?
Cup and a half. 1.5 cups.
So 12 cups?
1.5. Or I think that's 12 ounces for those of you that like ounces. I can never remember the ounces.
I only look at ounces with green stuff.
Let me get an ounce of that, fam. Is that green stuff legal up there in Toronto?
So I'm actually I'm physically located now in New Hampshire. So I moved to the U.S. 6 years ago or 7 years ago or so with work.
Gotcha.
But I live in New Hampshire with my amazing wife and my kid. So live free or die.
There you go. Yes, I've lived up in Maine, and I always got a kick out of New Hampshire's slogan there. I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome.
When I first started working, so even though I lived in Canada, I worked for a global company, but a company that was primarily headquartered out of the U.S. and I was responsible for the Northeast. So most of my clients and my sales folks were in New England. So I had one of the folks that I worked with actually send me his license plate from New Hampshire because it said "Live free or die." I thought that was the greatest thing ever.
It really is. Really is. Okay. So if you've put in the amount of cheese that you are required to put in, then you're good once you get to that point. And then at this point, and I just tasted it, just kind of make sure. The one big reason that we do this kind of slowly is to avoid the sauce from being grainy. Obviously, nobody here but me will know my sauce is fairly smooth, so I'm happy with that. So, and then at this point, if you wanted to add some other things, I've seen people add nutmeg to their Alfredo. I've yet to do that. I'm kind of tempted, but I think I only have whole nutmeg right now, so I'm going to probably just skip that step. But at this point, if your sauce is finished, you can hit it with some black pepper.
Okay.
You can also hit it with fresh parsley, or in this case, I have dried that I can actually put in here. And
this is an interesting point for me too, because it's not, we wouldn't be adding the traditional Italian kind of spices to this,
Right. Yeah. Usually, if you're ordering just a straight Alfredo, usually you might not necessarily get much else in the way of flavor. It's just going to be the cheese and the cream. But like I said, kind of at the beginning, this is really a sauce that you can kind of do whatever floats your boat. You could turn this totally Cajun. You could throw some andouille sausage, some shrimp, some spices into it. You could go super garlicky. You could, I mean, whatever floats your boat. All right, so am I to understand that nobody has ever grilled on Unicorn Chef? Is that what I've understood? All right. So this is either going to be the most epic piece of Unicorn Chefing ever, or it's going to be a snuff video. So no, just kidding. I don't intend to explode.
So hot.
So we're going to take our chicken.
Okay.
And I had tongs. Yes, tongs. And we're going to take the camera. So that way you guys can watch me catch fire. No, just kidding. Oh, come on there. Jumbo grip. All right. So pay no attention to the rest of my house. There's probably some mess. Although my wife helped me out, she did some cleaning today while normally I work from home running my office, but I have a client that likes me on site. And of course that was today. So that's all right though. Okay. So,
Nicole Smith says, "Go James."
All right. So let's see. We're going to switch hands.
Okay.
And we're going to get the grill going, or grill is going. So, and you know what? Let's spray this so that so you don't get to watch me peel chicken off the grill. Spray. Honey, where's the spray? If you're online, chat it to me. No, crap, where is the spray? Okay, no problem. This is where, this is probably the part where we start to like improvise, right?
So would you say the sauce should be thick enough to just hang on the back of a spoon?
Yeah, that's probably a good point of thickness. You don't necessarily, obviously if it gets too thick, you're gonna be like, it'll just get clumpy. My neighbors are out swimming, so good for them. Yeah. Hey guys, hungry? I'm not even 100% sure I know their names. Like, that's horrible of me, but I know I've met them. I probably know their dog's name better than I know them.
The dog is probably better behaved.
Yeah. If their kids are anything like my kids. All right. So
you have 37 children.
Something like that. By the end of this show, I might even have another one. You never know. All right. So just a quick kind of little brushing. Put these down. Like I had said before, the thighs cook real quick. So we'll
let's grill.
Yep. We'll close that up and we'll come back and we'll check our sauce, and just so I don't give everybody vertigo, you guys will just have to trust that I will get the chicken and not just leave it there to explode. And hey, look at yes. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, judging by the steam, it looks like our water is ready for pasta. So,
ooh, fancy.
All right. So, we'll add some salt.
Emma Elam wants to say hello.
Excellent. Hello. Good to see people. All right. And I'm not necessarily going to like the salty like the ocean. I mean, that works, but yeah, going to just drop some in. All right. And most of your fettuccine types will take about 13 minutes.
Okay.
You can always, there's different kind of tricks to how you want to finish out the noodles. Some people, like a restaurant would probably have the sauce and the noodles separate. They'd cook up the chicken or whatever. Yeah, that sauce is looking good there, Mike. So they would probably cook it all up, have it separate, and then add everything into one pan and cook it kind of by serving.
Sure.
So, and I'm not feeling that fancy today. So next time if Bryson decides to have me on again, I'll do it a little bit fancier.
Cool.
All right. So, just kind of get your pasta down into the water, get them all kind of chilling in that hot tub. Depending on what you've done with your sauce, throwing a lid on it, turning it all the way down, maybe even turn it off if you're confident that your sauce is gonna stay nice and hot. So okay, all right. So our pasta's down, sauce is pretty much done. I'm gonna go and check the chicken. So you guys talk amongst yourselves, all right?
So you're gonna go choke your chicken? I didn't know it was that kind of cooking show. That's a lot of fun. Hey, Karen, if you're listening, when am I going to get my hat? Tired of waiting. And Tabitha, nerds on the internet saying hello. I think it's great that nerds on the internet say hello. You should jump on Twitter, use hashtag Unicorn Chef to say hello to all the other nerds. By all means, tag me. I'll make sure your notifications are blown up. Not with me. I'm not a psychopath. But for the most part. Who else? Nicole James. It's interesting. This is one of these shows where a lot of people kind of are flowing in and out of the chat, which is good. Stay for a while. Have some fun.
Absolutely.
Because I think in a little bit we're going to be breaking into the Irish whiskey. I can't shake my head. It's not my fault that you're like a shrimp. Karen is this big. Trust me, I've met her. She's tiny. It's ridiculous.
She's fiery, though. All right. So, oh, hey.
How was your barbecue?
I probably should have turned it up a little bit higher. It's not the chicken's going kind of slow. That's okay though. It's a new grill for me too, so I'm getting used to it.
What kind of grill is it?
It is a Rectech Bullseye. So it's their little kettle one. I wanted to get into pellet cooking, but I also didn't want to drop $900 on some monster.
Oh, yeah,
and then so this one's good. I just had a moment like, crap, did I run out of pellets? But nope. So I successfully smoked a pork shoulder on it over the weekend, and a couple weekends ago, and outside of removing some skin on a finger trying to pull a metal probe out, it went really well. Yeah. But I'm happy with it. I'll probably end up getting a bigger one to go with this for like weekends and big cooks, because we do like to cook for friends and family.
Huh. So I got to ask you, with the size of your family, is this the kind of meal that you would cook kind of like on the regular? Is this part of your normal rotation?
Yeah, this would be because it cooks quick, it'd be a normal weeknight meal.
Yeah.
I honestly would probably double it.
Fair. Yeah.
Just because my kids are they can eat, and then plus having some leftovers are nice. Alfredo doesn't reheat well as leftovers though. Yeah. You definitely can't microwave it. You can put it back in a pan, maybe add a splash of milk or something, and hope that hope you can kind of get it back to normal. But yeah, if you nuke it, it just looks, there'll be so much oil inside it, America will want to invade it or something. All right. So,
Cody the cattle dog says, pork.
See how our pasta's doing. Nope, still pretty chewy. All right.
So I'm actually using regular pasta. I'm not doing fettuccine.
Oh, no problem. I would if I was doing this, like if I was going to feed family and everything with this, yeah, I can name a couple people from Twitter who would definitely probably just find you and hit you with a brick. So, yeah, if I was doing this for the family, I'd probably do like a shorter pasta because obviously kids and spaghetti, it gets to be a disaster. So do it like with a penne or something. You can kind of, any kind of pasta will sort of fit for the most part. The only issue you ever run into is if all of a sudden, like if your pieces of chicken or your meatballs or something are way bigger than like the pasta. So don't put like bow tie and meatballs. That would look kind of odd, but it probably still tastes fine. All right, that's going. All right, I'll be right back. Gonna check that chicken.
I was actually going to say I don't know what otai is.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, like in little thing. It's not one that generally gets thrown into like legit pasta dishes. Okay, chicken's looking happy now. So.
My Alfredo, because of you, is, as they say in Super Mario, it's a Yoshi.
Do some Yoshi steaks next.
So, for everybody in the chat right now, is everybody having a drink right now? A cup of coffee or a glass of wine? I wonder. So my pasta's well on its way, which is lovely. I'm actually going to pull my chicken.
Good. Yeah, maybe let it rest. I see what you did there. Oh, yeah, that was still hard because I can't do math. Nothing like a. Oh, there you go. Yep.
So I'm like 150, 190. That's a small piece, though. 190. Well, the reason I'm doing this is because it's really important to undercook your chicken to make sure that you're eating the chicken as raw as possible for sashimi chicken.
Yep, a good medium rare is a good idea for your chicken. Even better, like if you just thin slice a little mirin, make like a chicken sashimi.
Yeah.
There you go. And hey, you know what? I got some mirin, so we could totally throw down. I'll do Asian next time. So.
The first time I was on the show, I did chanko nabe.
What was that?
It's a sumo wrestler soup, they call it. It's called chanko nabe.
Oh, yeah.
Highly, don't go watch the episode. That's not what I'm saying, but by all means, make it. Especially for like a good sized family.
Yeah.
A big pot of chanko nabe soup. Good fall night. You and your wife might be making a new kid.
There you go. I'm sure the one pot you made would feed my family, but that's probably like starter meal for a sumo wrestler. So.
Oh yeah.
Those dudes are huge.
It's funny too because I've watched. I'm a big dude. I'm not saying I'm a sumo wrestler, but the way in which they train, they put fat on top of muscle.
Yeah. So
they have like a layer of fat, but they're insanely strong.
Yes.
Crazy fast.
I got to go to a sumo event in Japan, and it was
no kidding.
Yeah, and it was that same thing. There's a lot of that build up, where they're backing, they're doing all this, and then it was just like watching two bulls arguing each other full tilt, and I was amazed. I was like, this is I didn't know what to expect, and here these guys are, grabbing each other, throwing each other. Their hands are super fast. Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you look at the overwhelming perception of somebody that's overweight is that they lack work ethic, and they lack the ability to work out, and they lack the drive to train. But these guys' entire life is based on insane workouts and insane eating. It's funny to see that kind of juxtaposed, but it's kind of heartbreaking too to see that when their life, or when their career, I'm sorry to say, kind of ends up, the only thing that they really have available to them is coaching for sumo. They have nowhere else to go.
Yeah. That's. I mean, you see a lot of like NFL linemen. I mean, those guys are pretty big.
Yeah.
But they, if you got a guy who he doesn't go in the NFL, and after college, he just leans out, and he's, for the most part, you wouldn't know that he'd probably been a 300-some pound lineman.
Yeah.
But yeah, those sumo guys, they're almost. I mean, they spend their whole career. I mean, to get fat and fast. I mean, just to make it simple, and that's probably not something you come back from it.
Yeah.
All right. So chicken is done. Let's check it. My
chicken is done. My sauce is I added my shrimp now, which is a little bit early. Don't get me wrong, but it was still fairly cold, not frozen per se, but I added shrimp directly to my sauce for the people that are.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, you could do that, or you could or throwing it in a pan first. They always say that brown food is good food if it gets a little color from like some butter or something. All right, so we may be calling an audible here on the fly, at least for my food, but we'll see. My chicken is still a little not quite done in the middle, but we will adapt and overcome. So,
as long as your family has a good immune system, it'll be fine.
Yes, for sure. All right, so we'll just turn this one down. Actually, turn that one on. Okay, so what I'll actually do is, once I know my pasta is there, I'm actually going to do this. I kind of had mentioned about that restaurant style, and think I'll do it that way. See how this pasta is.
So are you cooking your pasta like al dente, or?
Yes. Yep. Going al dente with it. Especially since I'll finish it into the pan. Okay. So that's actually there. So, okay. Some hot pads will come in handy because we're not going to try to muscle this pot with bare hands.
Coward.
I don't want to be the first person to scream from pain on, well, I don't even know if it'd be the first, but I don't want to be that guy. All right.
Definitely not the last.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I probably have another 6 minutes or so on my pasta.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Yeah, this is, I can see now, as far as doing this on a show, unless you and I really were okay, this is exactly what we're going to do, pre-plan it like some crazy episode of Chopped or something. And yeah, I could see how this would get suddenly what do we do? What do we do? All right.
I had my sister on the show a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
She did great. We made raviolis, but she fell a victim to time.
Yep. That can happen.
I'm very entertaining. It's part of my allure. So
I can see it. I can tell immediately.
That's why he's not drinking. He doesn't want to get intoxicated with my.
I don't want I don't want to get pregnant. That's what you're like, crap, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is, and this we're gonna go totally off script because, well, through the fun of live TV, this is what happens. So chicken's a little underdone, but that's okay. It's got some color, it's got a little smoke, it's got the things that I was kind of looking for. So I'm gonna heat up a pan here.
Cool.
I'm just gonna throw just a dab of olive oil in it. Not extra virgin, just the slutty olive oil. So
Nothing's better than a good whore olive oil.
Yes, indeed. So, and
it's a nice pan.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I try to keep them in good shape too. Sometimes that doesn't always work with small ones helping me. So had a little salt under it. Like, there we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just slice the chicken, kind of on a, try to go for a, no, the other way.
So you're doing like chicken pieces?
Yeah, I'm just going to do it as kind of a slices, and kind of do it a little bit on a bias, which is just angling the blade and it sort of presents a little better. So,
James, should I have brought out my matching knife?
Oh man, hey, there you go, sword fight. I think I also have, and actually, honestly, this is about right where it needs to be, but or close to. So, but that's okay. So, in the pan, we're going to go with our chicken.
Okay.
So, and all right. Tongs. Here we go. Okay, so
2 more minutes for me.
And so really at this point, I'm just doing, like I said, just doing this to get a little heat, a little color, a little more color to the chicken. We're going to get our...
Did you season your chicken when you put it on the grill?
Did I season it?
Season, yeah.
Yes. Yep. Salt, pepper, a little Italian seasoning.
Cool.
So, yep. So they've got what they lack in proper color, they make up for in having some dots of stuff and some grill lines a little bit. So I actually painted those on. I that's what I went outside with. I just went out there with a Sharpie.
Lines matter.
Lines matter. That's right.
So to Jason, I'm only opening this for you, buddy. Jason had mentioned that he had to step away and asked if we open the Tullamore.
Gotcha.
To your help.
There you go. Now it's a party. Yeah, I was thinking, I got a bottle of Fireball up here that the wife and I thought would be cool. We were going to do shots for like New Year's Eve. We ended up hitting like 2 different stores to get a mix of things, and then we had 2 shots apiece and went to bed. And I still have like a bottle of Fireball that's minus like an ounce or 2, and a bottle of some other crap up there that's minus an ounce or 2.
I think I'm the only person that can't stand Fireball. It's gross.
I was just in Vegas a few weeks ago, and here it was like 110. It was 10 a.m. And there were some guys out there on the strip, shirtless. I mean, they look like they lived on the streets, but dudes were passing a bottle of Fireball around at 10 in the morning, and I'm just like, the only thing cinnamon flavored I want right now would be like cinnamon rolls or something.
Yeah.
Some dang cinnamon toast crunch. Okay, so I am going to add in my sauce first. And
so are you adding your pasta right into your sauce?
What's that?
Are you adding your pasta into your sauce?
I'm adding my pasta into this pan. Cool. I mean, for simplicity, like with all my kids and whatnot, yeah, I'm probably just I would just add all this into a bowl and hand it to them, mix it all up. For this, I figured I'd get a little bit more involved. So we'll do some pasta. There you go. And then, whoops, you get in there. And then we'll just swirl it around just to get this combined. This is another reason why you don't want your pasta to be cooked all the way, because it's going to cook a little bit more in the sauce.
And are you making sure to put some pasta water in with it, or no?
You can, but I actually drained my pasta water in this case. But that is definitely a technique you can use. Okay. So since we're going to land this plane here real quick, I'm going to add a little more black pepper.
Yeah, we got time too, man. There's no reason to rush.
Okay. Well, the good news is I still got a couple plates to put together, so we'll just do this. This is kind of I love doing this stuff. So all right, so we're gonna put this all in here, and okay.
So I know you're not plating yet, but when you plate, do you put any other seasoning on top of the plating, or no?
In this case, I'm putting some more, more parsley. Okay. Also, just because I like cheese, I'm putting a few bits of it's shaved Parmesan versus shredded or grated. And
shaved is better.
Shaved is better. Yep, hardwood floors, all that good stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah. However you like it. Yeah, at this point, if I wanted to eat healthy, I totally could have done some asparagus and thrown that on the side, or could have done something else. But yeah, so I'm gonna actually finish making these plates, because I've got, like I said, I've got these here, and because my wife actually, so she took the kids and everybody out of here, and I just said, well, just come back later. I'll feed the growner people, and you feed the small ones. And so,
what is your wife's name?
She is Karen as well. She just spells it weird. So,
how does she spell it?
Keiran.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, be careful Googling that. There is, especially if you were to Google with her maiden name, there's actually a Karen that's spelled that way that is a male adult film star.
Okay.
So, yeah, we found that out. I was like, I Googled her name one time, and I'm like, who's this, young strapping lad with his suave-looking Jersey Shore haircut? And then I happened to click why he was famous, and I'm like, oh my. I don't see the family resemblance there.
I hate to say it too, because I know I brought up a Canadian band before, but a really great Canadian metal band is Strapping Young Lad. Definitely
Strapping Young Lad.
Yeah, Devin Townsend, God bless him.
Man, y'all have some good band names up there.
Well, and my T-shirt, Endless Descent, is a good friend of mine in Connecticut.
Okay.
He's got a great metal band. But
where out in Connecticut? I used to live there too.
I think he's out in, oh goodness gracious. Karen, save me here. Where is he from? He's something Field.
Something Field.
I know how to drive there, but I don't remember the town name.
Yeah, I'm not up on all my towns of Connecticut. I lived out on the kind of more the shoreline area, but
he's Enfield. Excuse me.
Enfield. Okay.
So it's more of an area where the tobacco farmers and stuff are. But
I totally forget that they grow tobacco in some parts of Connecticut. Doesn't feel like a Connecticut thing. All right. So
this is my chicken.
There you go. You just slicing yours as well, just getting long slices.
Yeah, I figured just serve it on top.
There you go. that works too. That's, yeah, I mean, it really, like I said, there's really no wrong. I mean, somebody will probably be like, yeah, there is a wrong way of doing this, James. What are you talking about? But I just say like, hey, you know, I tell my kids, you know, we eat with our eyes, and having, you know, trying to make food that looks good, trying to make food that's tall, you know, it comes up off the plate or off the bowl. You know, those kind of things matter, because honestly, the difference between like a steak from Applebee's and a steak from like a really nice place might be the ingredients and the presentation, you know?
Yeah, fair. Totally fair.
So that's
I watch too much TikTok, so whenever I hear Applebee's, I think of the ridiculous country song that accompanies so many videos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not much up on the country, so.
You know, you get when you play a country song backwards, right?
What is it? Your truck fixes itself, your wife comes back to you, and your dog is resurrected, or something like that.
Your house back, your truck back, your wife back, your sister back.
And the sister. Wow. That's like medium. That's like medium chicken. Yeah. Medium well, maybe. All right.
Well, this is 185. Or as long as it's above 180, you're okay.
Yeah. I think it was probably like 155, but no, it's all right. just a little bite, and I think this chicken was organic. I'm honestly not even sure, and I'm not organic, so. All right, so
organic. I keep saying orgasmic. I don't know why. My wife laughs at me. I mean, she laughs at me for worse than that. Don't get me wrong, but
that's all right. We all have our thing. So okay. And you know what? I'm gonna make this one for myself. So this one.
I mean, just so everybody's aware, James is literally cooking for 6 people. So.
I usually do. Tonight I'm only going to cook for 3, but yes, this is generally a party for 6, plate, all that. So brought back out the big tub of garlic. So into the pan.
James, this is delicious, buddy. I just had a taste.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. That's the kind of stuff that makes my day.
And again, if you're cooking along, #unicorn chef. Put up your picture.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited to see some quality food going here. Yeah, and somebody asked me, you know, when somebody asked what I was going to make, they said, "Oh, where'd you get that recipe?" I'm like, man, I copied and pasted it into my computer years ago. Like, it didn't have any, like, it doesn't have any, like, you know, get this brand of whatever. So I couldn't even tell you. And I've considered searching it up or something, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this recipe. It works. It's not too tricky. And most importantly, outside of the sherry, there's not a lot of like weird ingredients. And, you know, if you had any kind of white-ish wine, you'd still be okay. So, all right.
So you're saying any box of white wine would be nice?
Any thoughts on what I want to make next?
Oh, no, sorry. Any box of white wine would be delicious?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, you know, this, I don't know what you grabbed, but mine is just, it's cooking sherry. So it's a cheaper bottle of it. I don't even know the right term. But it's a cooking wine. Probably doesn't technically contain alcohol. I don't remember.
I think it probably
not
does.
for sherry wine. Yeah, not for sale or use as a beverage. Okay. I'm sure there's somebody out there that was like, whatevs. So, but yeah, you could use kind of whatever wine, white wine, sherry wine, Marsala wine, something like that. You could probably even pull off like some rice wine vinegar or something like, again, if you just didn't have everything, you could kind of just pull something out of the cabinet. No crazy tools or anything. So, and then,
are you getting close to plating? I think you're getting close.
This is my last plate. Yes, okay, sir. So,
cool.
Yeah. Gotta turn that heat off. Turn all the heats off. Yeah. I'm a big fan of.
Are you a center plate kind of guy or a random kind of guy?
A what? Sorry.
Are you a center plate kind of guy, like a Frenchy kind of view, or are you just all over the place?
I usually will try. Like, I mean, these are just kind of squared off bowls. Okay. So, but I also have other wide bowls. I usually try to keep it kind of centered up, depending on what I'm making. So,
okay. I just want to make sure I'm doing your view justice, my friend.
Well, I appreciate that. Let's see how it looks in the side camera. We'll go to the sideline camera here real quick.
I'm here, I swear.
Yeah, there you go. Sprig of basil on top would have been nice. I could always steal a piece of one of my wife's plants just for some green. Like that would. Oh,
she's never gonna know. Take it.
That's right. All right, little parsley. There you go. All right. Well, this was fun. I like.
Hang on, I'm almost with you.
Oh, put some things away here. Oh, and also just a quick shout out. We were talking t-shirts. Sec DSM. It's our local security meetup.
Okay.
Right now we're not meeting up. We're still trying to find a venue for that. But Sec DSM, they're nonprofit, kind of similar to, I know Carolina reps Sec KC, but just helping people out in the industry and all that. And
cool. Happy
to rock their shirt for this shindig.
I love it.
All right, my man. How you doing? How you looking?
I'm plated and ready to do the picture with you, my friend.
All right. Well, let's enjoy.
So just bring it up to the camera so people can see.
Get that angle right. Yep. Your pieces are longer than mine. All right. Looks great though, man.
How is it?
Let's see. Let's go for. Got to do like the Food Network bite, not the big like giant at the table, no one looking at me bite here. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, honestly, buddy, that's silly good.
Yeah, I haven't made this in a minute either, so this was kind of worked out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the most delicious thing I've cooked in a few weeks, brother.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
And no, Shannon, I did not set anything on fire. How dare you?
No fire.
Because I kept the camera pointed away from the stove.
That's one way to do it.
Well, James, let's talk about your charity again.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, Four Oaks Family Connections. So they're here in Iowa. They are there who help you if you want to become a foster parent. They help license you, help you get through the training, all that. Foster care is needed all across the U.S. and probably in other countries as well. If you have an interest, you don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to have a huge house. You just have to have a heart to help kids. But yeah, Four Oaks Family Connections, that's my local charity. But get involved if you have an interest in helping children. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and the links for what James is talking about is in the descriptions of the video. If you weren't with us at the very beginning, he shared a bunch of statistics that are not good. So yeah,
no,
anything.
Yeah, I just here in Iowa, there's about 4,000 children that are in need of a safe home in the foster care system, and there's a huge deficit. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 200 or 300 children that they're in shelters, or they're in just not the best situations. Maybe they're living with a grandmother who probably shouldn't be taking care of young children, but it's the best that they can find. So if there's anything you can do, please help out in your local communities.
Yeah. It's an absolutely beautiful charity, absolutely beautiful. Which to my point, I have a 15-month-old kid, so it really hits. Take care of your kid. But from my perspective, if you can take a look at your local SPCA, adopt a little baby pet, adopt an adult pet, donate your time, donate your money. We need them just as much as they need us.
Absolutely, man.
So, it's a great episode. This was absolutely fantastically delicious. I know for certain my wife is definitely going to kiss me a lot more than she would normally, even with the amount of garlic I used in the dish. So I think that's a very positive thing. So share your pictures online, #UnicornChef. By all means, tag James, infosec_James. Tag me, the only Mike _E. By all means, we all engage. And thanks for joining. Love you. Bye.
Love you guys.